Los Angeles, February 1942. It's after midnight. The city is blacked out. Suddenly, air raid sirens scream. Searchlights rake the sky. And the guns open up. For almost an hour, anti-aircraft batteries pound the night. Tracers arc over neighborhoods. Explosions bloom above the city. And people crouch in their homes convinced they're under attack. By sunrise, buildings are damaged, shrapnel litters the streets, and civilians are dead. But there's one problem. No enemy planes. No wreckage. No bombs. Nothing. Tonight we're looking at the so-called Battle of Los Angeles. Was it a UFO attack or wartime panic on a massive scale? Just weeks earlier, Pearl Harbor had been attacked. Japanese forces were rolling across the Pacific. On the West Coast, people expected the war to show up any day. There were blackouts, air raid drills, rumors of submarines off the coast. And days before the incident, Japanese subs did attack shipping near California. So fear wasn't abstract, it felt imminent. Into the atmosphere of nerves and rumor, the night of February 24th arrived. Late that night, radio operators reported an unknown contact off the coast. Early radar was glitchy, but in 1942, a blip could mean incoming bombers. Around 2:15 a.m., the air raid sirens went off. Los Angeles went dark. Anti-aircraft crews rushed to their guns, scanning the sky. Soon, some observers reported seeing a flying object or a group of objects moving slowly over the city. Depending on who you ask, a single glowing shape, a formation, or just something in the searchlights. Around 3 a.m., the guns started firing. More than 1,000 rounds were fired. Smoke, flashes, and shell bursts lit up the clouds. Some people say they saw shapes moving through the beams. Others saw only chaos. When it was over, 21 people were dead or dying. Some from falling debris. Others in car accidents during the blackout. And there was real damage on the ground. But there were no confirmed enemy planes. No bomb craters. No crash sites. Just a city that had fired heavily at nothing anyone could prove. The morning after, officials couldn't agree on what had just happened. Some army statements hinted at enemy aircraft. The Navy called it a false alarm. Explanations shifted. Maybe planes. Maybe weather balloons. Maybe just war nerves. In the 1950s, when UFO stories exploded in popularity, people looked back at this night and recast it as a flying saucer battle. One famous photo shows searchlights converging on what looks like a solid glowing craft. But that image was heavily retouched for the newspaper. Standard practice to make beams and bursts show up in print. Once UFO writers latched onto it, though, the Battle of Los Angeles was locked into UFO lore. So what actually happened? Let's go through the main possibilities. First, the straightforward one. The Japanese aircraft really were over LA that night. The problem is the evidence. No bombs dropped. No planes shot down. No wreckage. Post-war Japanese records don't list a raid on Los Angeles that night either. Could a handful of high-altitude recon planes have slipped in and out? Maybe. But there's no hard proof, and militaries usually brag about successful missions, not erase them from history. Second, the dramatic one. That the guns were firing on some kind of unknown craft. Extraterrestrial or ultra-secret tech. And the truth was covered up. If a craft had been damaged or brought down over a major city, we'd expect some trace: wreckage, recovery operations, leaks, internal reports. What we actually get are later interpretations of confused eyewitness accounts. People absolutely thought they saw things in the beams, but stressed human perception at night under explosions is not exactly lab quality data. The third explanation is less cinematic, but fits a lot of the known facts. A mix of faulty radar, a stray balloon or similar object, and a city primed to expect an attack. Early radar often mistook weather, birds, or terrain for aircraft. The military also launched weather balloons and test balloons. If even one drifted into the searchlights, it would give everyone something to focus on. Once the guns opened up, smoke, tracer fire, and shell bursts created moving patterns in the sky. People further away might never see the original target, only the fireworks created by the response. In 1949, an official Army history essentially concluded that the event was caused by war nerves. A false alarm that spiraled, not a real battle. In that reading, the system did what it was trained to do: see danger first and ask questions later. The tragedy is that the real damage happened on the ground, to civilians. So why does the Battle of Los Angeles still grab people? Because the imagery is unforgettable. Searchlights and explosions over an American city weeks after Pearl Harbor. It looks like science fiction. Because officials gave muddled, shifting explanations, perfect fuel for decades of speculation, and because it taps into two deep fears at once: being attacked from above and not being told the whole truth. So what's my take? Based on the evidence, the most likely scenario is a chain reaction. A radar blip, maybe a balloon or similar object, jumpy gunners, and an information system that leaned hard towards better safe than sorry. No confirmed enemy planes, no solid proof of a UFO, just a lot of firepower unleashed into an almost certainly empty sky. But that's my read. What about you? If you had to choose, what do you think best explains the Battle of Los Angeles? A real enemy mission that left little trace? A genuine unknown craft? Wartime panic plus radar glitches in a balloon? Or something else entirely? Let us know your answer and your reasoning in the comments below. And if you enjoy historical mysteries where the photos look like a movie poster, but the real story is buried in the details, consider liking and subscribing so you don't miss the next deep dive. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and never stop seeking the truth. Thank you for watching.